What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of swing trading, day trading, technical analysis on the NAS100. I hope you guys have had a phenomenal week with your trades this week, right? And we're just going to get straight into it. But before I do that, this chart is looking a little bit too busy right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a cleanup, and then once we're done, we're just going to get on with the business of the analysis for this week coming up. All right. Okay, we're all done. So basically what I've done is I've just removed all the labels. As you can see, all the labels have just been taken off, and we're only keeping the weekly highs and weekly lows on the chart, just because at some point in the future they also come in handy. So all of these little levels here, okay, as the market continue to progress and does what it does, these levels will also become important. So because I have it marked out, I can literally just go in there and just stick a level straight across it, and it will let me know what's going on in the future of how market develops. So that's why I'm basically keeping these ones there, but I've removed all of the labels. So it's still a little bit messy, but you know, we can kind of work with it. All right. So with all of that covered, we're going to get into the business of what just took place, week just gone, right? And we're also going to look at what we need to do for week moving forward. So that's going to be Monday, the 29th of April. And the point of discussion is going to be what took place this week. So some of the stuff I talked about last week, that's in the previous video, okay? And there were some gems I definitely put in there for you guys, because I can see it actually transpired, right? Obviously, I took advantage of it, but I'm hoping that you guys saw it too and you was able to take advantage of it. Video that's gone, it didn't really pick up, so a lot of people didn't really watch that video. I don't know why, but there were gems in there, and I'm gonna highlight those gems for you. All right, hopefully you guys can see why the videos coming up. You kind of want to watch them, but obviously I'll leave that to you. Ultimately, you make the best decisions, right? So with all of that covered, let's get into the business of what we talked about last week. So in last week's video, I mentioned this area, right? So I said, right, as something that I don't normally talk about, which is how to navigate the market between the weekly highs and the weekly lows. Let me get rid of this one as well. Right, between the weekly highs and the weekly lows, because most of the time when I'm actually talking to you guys about how to navigate the market, I just keep it to weekly highs and weekly lows. I don't tell you what to do in between those two levels. Now I know what to do in between those two levels, but I don't share that with you. So last week I shared that with you, right? So I said to you, this is what I said. I said, okay, we have a weekly low that's just been taken out over here, right? Market flew all the way down, gave us a new weekly low. This weekly high was not taken out, so we kind of need to figure out what we need to do if market decides it wants to turn around. Okay, so my recommendation was, should this level over here get taken out, which it did on a Monday, okay, you can obviously take a position with a buy in this direction. All right, and then you would have made a little bit of coins on that, right? And I hope you guys did. And then obviously market retraced all the way back down again. If you had taken this move, your sensible stop would have been below these swing lows over here, okay, right? So regardless of how you played it, for the first 2 days at least, so for Monday afternoon, if you jumped in, okay, and you kept it open to Tuesday, you would have definitely seen something. And if you kept it longer on Tuesday, then you probably would have returned back to break even, or possibly have your stops triggered. Such is life. That's what happens in the market, okay? But then if you was able to identify this low point, okay, on the Thursday, you could have then ridden it back up again, and then you would have been cool. Bottom line is, like I said in the video before, this overall move that we're seeing over here, I am not treating this as a bullish move, even though market is going up. Why? Because I'm waiting for a weekly high over here to be taken out, or the weekly low to be taken out. That will give me absolute confirmation that market is going in a way that I want it to go, and therefore I would then start stacking trades once I'm able to identify, or should the market produce a trending market. So if market produces a trending market, that gives me the opportunity to stack. If the market starts going sideways, then naturally I'm going to keep myself to one trade at a time as we navigate that whole range should market produce it. So with everything we're seeing here right now, this is how it looks, going off of what I said last week in regards to, so long as the weekly high is not taken out, I'm treating this whole situation as a bearish situation. So either as it goes up, I'm only looking for sales. I'm only looking for sales until it reaches a certain level, takes that level out, and then I'll be like, okay, cool, now I'm looking for buys, right? So let me show you what I'm looking at right now. Hopefully it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, by all means, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know. All right. Okay. So this is what I'm looking at right now in regards to what market is doing right now. Okay. And when I mean right now, I mean last week. Right. So week moving forward, as we move forward into week commencing the 29th, a couple things we need to keep an eye on just to make sure that we're facing in the right direction. All right. So this is what I'm seeing right now. This is what I'm seeing right now in regards to what market is doing. Okay. This is what I'm seeing right now. So in my opinion, I'm only looking for sales, right? And if you was to look at this properly from a different angle, I am sure there is a FVG somewhere in here. I am sure of it. Okay, here we are, right here. Right here. There is a FVG right here, right? And in all fairness to ITC, the FVG concept, I don't know if he's the one that came up with it or we got it from somebody else, but I heard it from his group or his followers, right? They're the ones that are talking about it the most on YouTube, right? I got it from them, right? And that seems to be a legit thing to use in the market, in my opinion, right? So I'm just going to let it off right there. In terms of all the other stuff, the silver bullets and all of that, that's just based on how your life is kind of set up. So if you're in a 9 to 5, you're working, because obviously I'm in a 9 to 5, I'm working, right? It might not be suitable, right? Because in that day, you got things to do. You can't be watching the market. So I can't see that being workable. But the FVG, that works 24/7, 7 days a week. Crypto, stocks, you name it, it works on everything according to what I have realized for myself. So I'm definitely not slugging him out, and I definitely want to give him a shout out for obviously releasing that to the world. It's definitely helped me out a bit. Okay, so I've got to give him his flowers for that. So swiftly moving on, after obviously giving credit where credit is due, right, is we're going to mark out another FVG area right here. So we got a larger FVG, a bearish FVG, right? A super strong one that supports the idea that market is going to be flying down. Because like I said, if it doesn't take out a weekly high or weekly low, I am not looking for crazy positions in the market. I'm going to keep myself in it because obviously the more you're in it, muscle memory just makes you better, etc, etc, etc. Maybe with a smaller lot size, I'll probably do it in that way. But bottom line is I need one of my conditions to be met, and the condition that needs to be met is either a weekly high or a weekly low is taken out. I don't really regard support and resistance as anything super important, just because I know that 99.99% of all traders are using support and resistance to make decisions on the market. So therefore institutions are well aware of it, and they use it as an opportunity for liquidity grab, which is all of your hard-earned money going back into the market, away from you into the market. So because I'm aware of that, I want to use a different concept. And the concept that I will go with is weekly high, weekly lows. And ever since I started using this concept, guys, I kid you not, everything has been working great. Weekly highs, weekly lows, right? Because I'm not the only one talking about this. I did not coin this idea. It's super important you know this. I did not make this up. I picked it up from somebody else. I back tested it, made sense, and I'm just running with it, right? Okay, so this is what I'm thinking for next week. This is the vibe that I'm going off of next week, right? Yeah, I'm expecting price at some point in the day to make his way into the zone. Right, it'll make his way into the zone. There is a couple FVGs over here, but the closer market gets to this level over here, the higher the likelihood that I'm going to be reversing my position into a bullish one, right? Into a bullish one, right? And also as well, it will also do something interesting. It will also do something very interesting, as we can see, because this level right here is the weekly high for week just gone. This level right here is the weekly high for week just gone, right? Let me just put a label on that. Weekly high, right? Now this one here is also important, right? It's also important because this one could trigger before this one, right? And if you wait for this one and this one triggers, okay, that basically means you're taking your positions from up here, right? But this one could trigger first, so it's important that we know that. So let's have a look to see what's the low point. So the low point, the weekly low that we got right now is over here. Situations like this is what I like the most, when the weekly highs and the weekly hold, I was about to say the week, anyways, you can read between the lines what I was about to say, right? Weekly highs and weekly lows, right? Lows. So what I was about to say was going to have a H, but yeah. Okay, right. Okay, so weekly lows. So the good thing about situations like this, when the weekly lows and the weekly highs are close together, basically means we can have a smaller stop. We can have a smaller stop because they're really close, right? And one or the other getting taken out just makes our life super easy. So effectively, we know we can start taking sales from down here, and we know we can start taking buys from up here from next week, because this is set in stone, right? So this level over here, and so this level over here and this level over here is now set in stone. It can't change now. It is what it is, right? So my vibe to you will be this. This structure that we have over here has a high probability of breaking downwards, which means I am confident that this level has a high probability of being taken out based on how this structure is looking right now. But we also need to bear in mind that there is also a probability that price will continue pushing up, because it does that, right? It does that. So there's two things that we need to keep an eye on. Well, there's one thing that we need to keep an eye on for next week, and that thing is the strength of the move as it takes out this weekly high, right? The strength of that. So the strength of the candle will let us know if we're in the right direction, and if it pushes up past this, great, we're looking for long positions, right? And if it takes out this weekly high, let me just bring this down a bit. If it takes out this weekly high and this weekly high over here as well, then we know we're definitely facing in the right way. And all we have to do is identify a trend in the market, and we can start stacking our buys as market moves all the way upwards, right? We can just keep doing that. Make sure we protect our positions as market is rising. And then when it decides it's going to pull back, because eventually it will, right? We make sure that at least we walk away with the market with something in our pocket, right? Just a recommendation. Obviously, you trade in the style that best suits you, right? Because once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just showing you how I like to move in the market, and this way is serving me very, very, very well. I cannot lie to you on that. It is working out great, right? So before I assign labels to this level over here and this level over here, we need to keep an eye in this area over here, because something interesting is taking place and we need to be aware of it. Now, in my opinion, what I'm actually looking at right now, I could be right, I may be wrong, is maybe the beginning stages of a head and shoulders. So this is it right here. So as it stands, this is the head, right? If we get another drop down to this level over here, right, another drop down to this level over here, or just below this level over here, cool. If it pulls back up again, right, and gives us the head and shoulders, then we know that there is a higher probability this zone right here is going to get taken out, all right? And because we would have seen the move from up here, okay, we can start taking positions all the way from this level over here. So that'll be our first little trade. We stick in that little corner, we see what it does, right? It flies all the way down, it takes out this weekly low, then we know, okay, cool, we got it, right? We then wait to see if we're going to get some kind of a pullback. If it gives us a pullback, then naturally we add more on. We bring in our trading stop. We secure the first trade that we got. We wait for it to fly down some more. It does another pullback, okay? We wait for that. We bring our trading stop all the way back down again, covering that location, and then we add another one on. And we'll just keep doing that until it gives us an indication that it wants to turn around. And if it does give us the indication it wants to turn around, we will just stack so much that even if we lose that one trade, it doesn't matter. It actually does not matter at all. All right, so that will be my vibe moving forward in terms of what I think is going to take place in this location. So as it stands right now, the bearish mindset that I have, I'm still holding that vibe. I'm still holding the vibe of market is going to be falling down. I still have that vibe. Nothing so far has changed my mind from me thinking that market is going to fall down. But once again, I could be wrong, because I understand trying to predict the market is super crazy, and it will just send you down a rabbit hole of just madness. So the best thing is just follow it based on what it is it's doing. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't try to predict anything. Just watch what it does, the direction it's moving in, and then just use logic to navigate it. So logic wise, up here we may have a head and shoulders building. We have a FVG sitting up here supporting the idea that market is going to push down. If market pushes down, If market pushes down, right, then we know, okay, cool, we can add one here or whatever. Okay, we cover this zone up here as our stop. We wait for it to take out a weekly low. Once it takes out the weekly low, we already know what to do from that point onwards. It just becomes super easy because it will take out this weekly low, then it will take out this weekly low. Then we know we're in for a free for all. Right, then we actually know we're in for a free for all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in another NAS chart right now and just put this on a higher time frame, because of all of these drawings on a higher time frame, it's just going to be goobity goop. You're not going to be able to see exactly what I'm trying to tell you. So let's just bring that in, right? Let me just find a nice clean chart. As a matter of fact, let me just get rid of everything on here, get rid of all the drawings. Okay, cool. All right. So as we can see right now, this is what the NAS has done, right, so far. This is what the NAS has done so far. It's pushing up, and obviously, like I was saying earlier in the few videos back, that due to the consolidation that was going on up here, all of this is in my previous videos. All of this is in my previous videos, right? Yeah, I don't do hindsight analysis. I do real-time analysis. Obviously, it's 1 week behind, but naturally, we're looking at real market data. Okay, so it's not. We're not doing anything in the past and then I'm coming on here showing you that, yeah guys, I got it right when I didn't, right? We're not doing that at all. We're using real life data, and by all means go back and check out all my videos, right? And then just timestamp it in the charts as I'm talking about what I'm talking about, and you will see that naturally I am giving you real life data, right? Obviously it's a whole week. The analysis for this week coming, okay, it's been done on this Sunday. Right, so we don't know what's going to happen all of here. I don't know. I've just put in what I think is going to take place, but I don't know what is going to happen, right? And that's how it works. So this is why I personally think that a channel like mine, you want to be watching. But bottom line is, I leave it to you because you guys make the best decisions, right? The customer or the viewer is always right. So I leave that in your hands. But whilst we got this up right here, I also want to show you another thing as well that I want you to keep an eye on. Right, I want you guys to keep an eye on this, because this is another situation that we need to be mindful of, right? So outside of weekly highs and weekly lows, right, we have, and this is on a day right now. This is why I'm saying that I'm bearish, because I will do everything possible to make my argument as strong as possible in regards to why I'm taking the decisions. So you know that I'm telling you actual stuff here, right? So this week has not taken place. This is over here, right? But what we do know is that we have a bearish FVG right here, and market is heading towards it. So if market takes it out, right, then we know it's going up, because we're only looking for buy positions. This thing that I'm showing you right now supports the hourly analysis that I've just shown you guys right now in regards to what market is doing, hence why I'm looking for what I'm looking for. So we have an FVG on a day that is supporting the idea that price could be rejected on that level. It could blast through it. It could literally blast through it. It happens all the time. We have the situation right here, another FVG right here. Price just boom, went straight through it. It didn't give it no regard whatsoever. It can happen over here too, but there is a probability it's going to push down from it. All we're looking for is it pushing away from it, and if it does push away from it, then we know what we need to do. We know what we need to do. Okay. Same thing, hence why I always say, I always give the guy that did the ITC his flowers, because the FVG is a wonderful concept. It's an absolute wonderful concept if you know how to apply it, right? So we got another one right here. And I'll tell all newbie traders, okay, if you can get your head around FVGs, right, and then apply that to weekly lows and weekly highs, is actually going to make you a better trader, and anything else you add on top is just going to make you that much better. So FVG over here, you see price went into it, pushed away, tapped it, pushed away. Now it's come back into it. It is pushing away, okay? And the only FVG to stop this situation from going up forever is the one we have up here. All right, it's the one we have up here. And then we have another FVG right here, right? We have another FVG right here, right? And we can see price went into it and then it flew past it, okay? And then obviously we have another one here that was completely disregarded by the super all-encompassing move to the downside, okay? And which in my opinion will let you know that the probability of price flying all the way down is actually has a high chance of that happening. So that's that. that I've just showed you guys here right now, okay, how to help you, and obviously use that in conjunction with weekly lows, weekly highs. If you want to throw some indicators on top, great, do that too, so long as everything is making sense and you just haven't put clutter on your chart that ain't helping you, right? Because the more lines and the more stuff you have in the chart, the harder it is for you to actually see the moves that's about to happen. You want to keep things as simple as possible, in my opinion. That's what you want to do. So we can see here, okay, the price has gone in, it's pushing away, there's one on top of it right now. If it brings itself down, then obviously we know we need to be looking for sales. So now let's just take this down a notch. Let's take this down a notch, down to the hour, okay, and we can see where it's heading to. So what can we tell with this situation that we've got right now? Okay, there is a high probability of an okie doke. What do I mean by okie doke? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the previous high over here, right? So this is the daily FVG that we have spotted, okay, on the hourly, sorry, on the daily chart of the NAS, right? Now we know that there is a probability, due to the location of this FVG, that price could take out this weekly high and create a new one on a Monday, right? That possibility is there, right? Now when that happens, the okie doke is you're gonna think price is going up, when in actual fact it's not, it's coming down. You put in your buys, it flies down, you get upset, you're like, oh, Pips and Point said this to me. No, I didn't say that to you. I said be careful. That's what I said, well and truly. And if I haven't said that previously, I'm saying it now. Be very careful and wait for absolute confirmation. So the best vibe or the best advice that I can give you is you can say, okay, if price is pulling away from this level, and bearing in mind, right, that this whole area right here can be disregarded, right? Price can actually blast all the way through it, okay? It's not set in stone, but we're just going to go off the fact that we're having the bearish situation right now. There's a high probability the price is going to be flying down, right? We're going to work off that concept because all of the analysis that I've done so far supports the idea that price is coming down instead of going up, right? Based on what we've seen together in this video that you're watching right now, right? So I would say this: if you don't want to take your sales from in this zone over here, that's perfectly fine, okay? But once it gets down to this zone over here, so that's this FVG, bearish FVG taking out this one right here, right? This one right here, and this one over here has been rejected also, then you can actually start taking the sales from up here, and then obviously cover this whole area here as a stop, right? And then ride it downwards. That would be my recommendation. And also, in saying that, I'm not recommending anything because I'm not a financial advisor. I do not have the authority or the right to tell you what to do in the market. I do not. And you need to take this information that you're seeing right now as somebody showing you their homework, right? That's all I'm doing. So I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular person, just showing you how I like to do business in the market. That's it, right? I'm not pulling the woolies over your eyes or none of that. That's not my style. That's not how I like to do business. If you like authentic people, I'm the guy. If you don't like authentic people, there's millions of them on YouTube that you can go and they can tell you how you can lose your money, right, in the smartest way possible. Right? Okay, so with that all there covered, let's now assign some labels to areas of interest for us, right? So on the low side, we are looking at 17155.9, this level right here. Okay, if this level gets taken out, we're looking for sales. And on the high side, which we have to be very careful on, okay, very, 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 very careful on this side, right? Yeah, this area right here offers the most danger, right? So if price goes past 17789.5, we're looking for buys. Once again, be very careful on this level over here, taking buys. All right, be very careful. If it does go past it, I hope that everything that I've been saying, you're able to obviously use it properly to get yourself in and capitalize on it. But there is a high probability of it going wrong up here, taking buys, right, than it is taking sells on the way down. And if you do want to take buys, right, I would say wait for one of these to be taken out, right? Because this one here, depending on how it's taken out, it could be a lie, it could be a false alarm, it could be an okie doke. All right. So the next thing I also want to add as well is that check out the back testing videos. There's 21 of them. Useful information. Check them out. You're going to be seeing the thumbnail right about now, okay? And with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode of swing trading, day trading, technical analysis on the NAS100. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. And shout out to all the guys that drop comments in the videos for last video just gone, right? I definitely appreciate that. And you guys have yourself a really, really awesome trading week for next week. So with all of that covered, this is Pips and Points signing out.